Hello. Are we on? That's too far away, isn't it? Hello? Hello? Anybody there? No?
I'm here.
You're always here. How we doing, friends? How we doing? How we doing? Let's get the Nelson. Oh, hey, we're popping up. MSL logging. Jack D. Good afternoon. Good evening to everybody. It is a chilly. Hello.
Sorry.
Live here. No. Chilly, nasty, sloppy, snowy, yucky. I don't think it's springtime here day today. How's everybody else doing? Like I say, the weather here today is absolutely, stick with me, don't go anywhere. We're having some technical, there we go. Absolutely nasty around here. Head snow this morning. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And it's sticking here in, well, no, it's not. But it was trying to, but just the foothills, you know, like, I think we're 530 some feet here, so like 700 feet, it's sticking. Yes, nasty and wet. East Iowa going to get 3 to 8 inches. I know it's... Tina, how we doing tonight? Snowed 2 inches where Brian's at. Yeah. We got something going on over by Weyerhaeuser's mill. They're sucking all the pipes. I guess somebody... The wife was saying that the news said something about a big diesel spill that actually got into the McKenzie River, so I would really, really like to find out about that. That's pretty big news. Is it too dark? Is that going to be too much, guys? That glare? I can point it down a little bit. No, we don't want to do that. It is. Now it's too... Don't fill her up to 10 inches. Holy smokes, that light is too much, ain't it, guys? I'm sorry. How's that now? Anyways, I don't know how many of you guys caught my little rant on with the light on, it's better, Nelson, or off? Talk to me. 4 storms in the last week and a half. Thankfully, wasn't as bad as predicted. Where are you at, Chris? You must be on the East Coast somewhere. It's better with it on. Okay. Yes, the people that did catch... Now somebody's saying off. We're going to get sidetracked. In Nova Scotia, well, it's Canada. You guys, snow is like rain to us. Jiminy. It was snowing. Are you in town, Kayla, or are you up at Sweet Home? Anyways, for those of you that caught the rant, the new job is awesome. Awesome. Nick is a great guy to work for. Really good equipment. Good pay, I mean everything. The guy is he's just a good guy. He asks me just as much questions about things as I ask him, you know. So it's, oh, you are up in Sweet Home, okay. Anyways, no, it's going to be a pretty cool deal. And it sounds like he's going to be able to keep me busy at least, you know, throughout the summer. He is a shovel logger, so your hat collection, I've got more. I got to get... that one there, I put them too close together. I need to spread it apart. But I use the cup holders. You know, your coffee cup holders is the only thing I found that works pretty good. Unless I could get somebody to make me like a one long piece. I think that'd be kind of cool. But, yeah, we're starting to gain them back. We lost quite a few in the moves. So why do you call what? Why do you call yourself Nutsy? Nutsy 319. Look at the guy. He's huge. No, Nutsy's awesome. I'm not sure why he calls himself Nutsy. We got to meet him over at the Paul Bunyan show. He is from northeastern Pennsylvania, Nutsy. Were you above us or below us? Whatever you like, lady, just don't call me late for dinner. Anyways, yeah, I got to meet Nuts over there, and he's huge. If you watch his videos, he looks like a big guy. You see him running his saw bent over, and you're like, wow, he's a pretty tall guy. But then you meet him in person, and it's like, oh my God. Isn't he, hun?
Big guy.
Yeah, he's big. He's got hands on him like this. He's like, oh, hello. Yeah, you never told us why you call yourself Nutsy. And that is Chuck Stevenson. How's sweet Georgia Brown tonight, bud? Hopefully everything's coming out good with her. I hate to hear you guys are having troubles like that. Anyways, back on track. The rant I had today on Facebook. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I got a little excited. That's why I cut it off where I did. But a kid had, Real McCoy, a kid had Stump come up with Nutsy. Oh, really? Right on. Made the trailer that's Nutsy's. What? I have a buddy who may be taller than Nutsy, runs Bruncher. Oh, God. It's going to have to be a big buncher to get somebody that big in it. Anyways, a kid had posted on Facebook about a job, a logging job. And he said good pay, competitive wages and everything. Well, I happen to know the company. I never worked for them, but I had put in an application until I found out what their pay was. And this was several years ago, so I simply said, I hope they've come up with their pay, because a few years ago it was pathetic. And like I say, I put in an application for him because I had a buddy working there. I come down to brass tacks. I was making $13.50 an hour to pull rigging for a Jippo logger. And this company was a pretty well established. They had a couple of three sides, you know, there was a good company. They were paying $8.49 an hour to pull rigging. Okay, now you did have insurance benefits, and they paid you like 40 cents an hour or something like that drive time. But still, when everything was balled up and at the end of the month, you were broke. And they were still asking you to do the same amount of work as I was doing for the people I worked for $13.50. That's all I said. It turned into a huge thing. So I went on and had a rant about it. And I don't care what job it is, whether it's logging, construction, a waitress, strippers make good money. We all need to be paid better. We all do. And right now, the timber is at one of the highest points for us that it's ever been. But they're not kicking it down. The mills aren't. The owners are getting it, but not as much as they should be, so that they can kick it down to us. My true, honest opinion is that a greenhorn kid has never logged a day in his life should be $20 an hour to start. And then go from there. Now, does every guy that works in the woods, experienced guy, deserve to make top pay? Absolutely not. That kid that was pulling rigging at the last place I was working. No. So, there does have, you do have to break it up and make incentives. But I think that, there are ways to do it. Like, you have a base pay. Choker setters make this much, rigging slingers make this much, hook tenders, so on. And each company is going to be different. You're always going to have one that pays a little bit more, one that pays a little bit less. But if you had a base pay, let's say a rigging slinger makes $22.50 an hour. Everybody gets paid $22.50 an hour their first day. So you go to work there, and you succeed their expectations. Okay, now you're making $23.50 an hour. Now you've worked there a week, you've showed up every day on time, ready to go with everything, all of your gear, let's go to work, good attitude. Now you're making another 75 cents an hour. See where I'm going with this? So let's say me, I go to work for this guy as a rig and slinger, but I have hook tendon experience. I should automatically get a little more money. That's if you've got to be able to show that experience on the job. I'm not just saying put it down on paper. Well, I tended hooks, so I should make more money. But I think you guys understand where I'm going with this. You show up for work every day, on time, ready to go to work, good attitude, so on and so forth. At the end of the week, okay, he gets 50 cents more an hour. Next week, you miss a day, you lose that. But I don't think it should be set up that if I'm there every day on time and Dickweed over here isn't, that we all lose it. Because a lot of places do it that way, and that pisses me off. Because one melon head can screw everybody. Also, and as much as or with the way everything happened there with Stacy and I left, Stacy had some really, really good ideas about pay and incentives for guys that work. And that's why I say that if they ever make it, they will be a company to work for if he implements all of his plans. Because he was talking about the same thing, a show-up bonus, a safety bonus. And I think on your safety bonus that should be either a 6 months or 3, 6, or a 12-month incentive. You go 3 months with no injuries, you get a couple extra $100. Or 6 months. We had one guy paid $100 a month, but he had to go all year long. And that's another story time because I got 56 stitches in my hand to tell about it. But anyways, that guy also had it set up that if somebody else got hurt in those 12 months, nobody got their bonus. So that kind of sucked. But that also puts out the incentive for you to be watching out for this guy that's got his head down, See where I'm going with this? Anyway, some of Stacy's ideas, like a gym membership. Not necessarily to go work out and stuff like that, but hot tub, sauna, and personal trainers. You can go into them personal trainers and say, listen, this is what I do for my job, and I just can't get rid of this one muscle, I'm pulling it all the time. That's their job. And they can show you, okay, yeah, no, don't pull on it like this. You want to do it like this, I think that's a really good idea. And then if you do have a really tough week and you're sore and you're all cramped up, you go sit in a sauna or in the hot tub. Or, maybe you need to get on a bike and exercise. Operators, I'm sucking down almost, well, no, I'm slowing way down. I've got it under 2 packs of cigarettes, but it would not hurt me a bit to get on maybe not a bicycle, but maybe an electric bicycle. But that's where I'm going with this. And this kid, and he would not tell me how much he made. And so that's what kept feeding me was because, okay, you're telling me that they haven't come up to the industry standard, whatever that is. And so finally he said, well, I make $21 an hour. Well, that's not bad. He's running yarder, $21 an hour, insurance and all that. But, like I said, a greenhorn choker setter for this industry should be making $20 plus an hour. Because if you think about it, to go buy the gear to start logging, if my son, Green, went to go start today, he would have to have a pair of cork boots, clothes. You don't have to have the hickories and suspenders and all that, but there is a reason that our pants are the way they are, because when they get wet, you can move around better and whatnot. Boots, hard hat, gloves, rain gear, lunch pail, all that. You're looking at $1,000 bill for $15 an hour. It's going to take you 6 paychecks to pay for all that stuff. My other son, Levi, goes to work for Seneca Sawmill right downtown here, and starts out, he's making almost $20 an hour now, But he started out at $17.56 or something. It was $17.50 something an hour cleanup. And what it cost him to get into it? A pair of steel-toe boots. You could go to Walmart and get them for $45. Me, myself, after my first check, I would go buy the Danners because you're on your feet all day and you've got to have good boots and they got, you know. But there are guys that will wear them cheapo boots and never buy anything decent and piss and moan about how bad their feet hurt all the time. But that's their problem, not mine. But it also takes all kinds to make this world go around. All kinds. Because if we didn't have the doctors out there for when we get hurt, what would we do? See what I'm saying? Am I saying we should get paid the same as doctors? No, we shouldn't, because they do go to college for several years to get these degrees and stuff. But I'm also saying that just because we don't go to college, the service we offer isn't just as important. If that doctor didn't have a building to have his office in, what good is it to him to be a doctor? If he doesn't have some of the medicine still these days, most of it is synthetic, but some of it still comes from wood products. See where I'm going with this, people? And there's so many nowadays. It's go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college. No, you don't. We need all kinds to make this world go around. And then you get these people that have went to college and say, well, I went to college and I'm making X and X and X, so it's his fault that he didn't. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm here to tell you, buddy, if it wasn't for guys like us that were doing our job, your job wouldn't be out there. So, am I saying that we should make $1 million a year? Well, a guy like me, maybe. No. But it's the same with minimum wage. Minimum wage pisses me off. Now, okay, it's over. We're going to talk about it. Minimum wage was not designed to be a living wage pay at all for anybody. You go down here and somebody will say, well, they're working at McDonald's flipping burgers. You're there buying them. If you, who just went to college for 4 years and now you're making $300,000 or $400,000 a year, if they weren't there serving that, what would you do? See what I'm saying? So why is it that they should only make $10 an hour? Minimum wage is designed for the younger generation to come into the workforce and start learning about finances and stuff. It is not for a 22 or a 25 or a 30-year-old person that didn't have the ability to go to college or maybe had learning disabilities or something, but is a hard-working son of a bitch. And they deserve to get paid for that. One of my other boys, where he's working, makes $11 an hour. He does really good. He's really good with finances. He saves, you know, and he's doing all right. But I think that he should be getting $15, $16, $17 an hour for that job. Why do we have to have a minimum wage now? I'll tell you why. Because they don't have berry pickers anymore. Strawberry pickers, corn pickers, kids out mowing lawns to start you into your financial adulthood and whatnot. We have Xbox. So that's where, and then you get these so-called respectable business owners that say, well, the state mandatory says minimum wage is all I have to pay. That's all you're going to get out of them people too. And then you turn around and you look at this 65, 70-year-old woman who's worked her whole life and is now retired, but her retirement isn't enough to live on, so she's working over here at McDonald's part-time because that's the only place she can get a job at minimum wage so that she can eat every night. That's fucking ridiculous. That's what pisses me off. No, I'm not saying that just because you're a retired person and you have to do this, you should make $60,000, $70,000 a year. But they deserve better than minimum wage. They all do. So, I'm going to leave it at that because I'm starting to get heated up. I think all of us need to make more money. They keep saying that the America's financial situation is in the crapper again. Don't tell me that, because you look at these people that are putting out movies, and the last hit movie that just come out did $55 billion in one night. Somebody's spending money somewhere. The reason that the economy is in the crapper, because we're not making enough money to go buy new pickups, new cars, buy houses and stuff like that. So anyways, Thomas Norgan asked me about North Bend logging. And I'm going to describe it. I'd really, really like to describe it as the old style, but I think it's going to be really hard for you guys to understand. So we do now what is called a modified wild bite North Bend system. And it's when you have a unit that you're skyline logging that maybe has the cut line goes down like this and then dog legs out, or you don't have means to get your skyline hung out here to get your lines over that road. So your skyline's hung out here, right? And it's too far, or the ground is too broke up, or for whatever reason. I've done North Bending and only went 100 feet just because the boss said we're not going to pull that far because it takes too long. And I've worked for guys that we pulled by hand 500 feet. So the application is up to the contractor, Anyways, you get your skyline out and you're running your carriage, whether it be a Bowman or a clamping car. I'm going to use a clamping car in this instance because it's easier to explain. So you log your road out and you've got really wide pulls, 150, 200 feet off to this side, right? Your skyline's down here, your order's up here. What you would do, you would take your hull back down and put it in a block right on your cut line, and then come back out to the carriage. So carriage is on the landing, your hull back goes out, comes up, and this is why I'm saying we're going to use a clamping car, because we'll get more use out of it. And then comes back up and hooks to the drop line. Some guys will put an actual butt rigging on it. I just put a shackle right on the drop line. Start shipping that carriage back. You're slacking your hull or your skid line, and you're going ahead easy on your haul back. Well, you get the carriage to where you want it, stop it, clamp the carriage, open your skid line clamp, start going ahead on your haul back, and it starts sucking that skid line. Now, instead of 3 guys doing this, human haul backing, that line's pulling it right out to you. It comes out, stop, clamp, set your chokers. You can preset, you can hot set, any way you want to do it. We're going to just preset, or we're just going to hot set them. So, with the clamping carriage, now I can let that carriage go way back and bring that line up through here, or I can stop it up here. That's where the modified comes in, because you can clamp it. And then after whatever section it is, that, so your car only goes back so far before the haulback will start pulling it. Then you just jump your block down the hill and do it over again. Now, why is it called a wild bite? The piece of line that goes from the block back out to the carriage, when it's going to the landing, it's doing this. And it's freaking awesome. Especially if you're hung clear back here at the back end of this dog leg and you're up here working. Oh, and it goes. I've got to get, somehow I've got I'll find a video, or I'll talk somebody into doing it, because an actual true fall block system off of a shotgun carriage with a wild bite is the most fun you will ever have with rigging clothes on. Guaranteed. And a good rigging slinger, like I say, you can have your carriage 600 feet down the line and spot them chokers right in your hands every time. Comes in, like I say, if you're using the clamping car, and you don't even have to clamp it, it's coming back into 3 mode. You go back into what is the 3 and 3, so the skyline and the skid line clamps open. The carriage can keep going down the line, but you're pulling the haul back, and it starts pulling that line out. So now it's coming out, but it's still going back. Saving time. It's coming to you, coming to you, coming to you. Clamp, there your chokers are right there. just like you were standing underneath the Skyline. Get them hooked up, start going ahead on it. You can suck them right straight out to the carriage, or you can go to the 3 and 3. The carriage starts doing this, lines are doing this, and logs are just, oh, it's, like I said, it's the most fun you can ever have with rigging clothes on. That's why they say, stay out of the bite. The reason they say that is the bite is where the block is. You got 2 pieces of line going this way, I'm the block. In here is the bite. If an eye on your strap breaks or your stump pulls, now the bite's coming at you. Get it? Bite you. It takes your head off. But it absolutely is productive, and if you're doing it right, it can be more productive than changing roads and hanging the Skyline right over the logs. Nowadays, most people are using mobile tail holts and so on, so forth. And with the clamping carriages and the intermediate supports, them dog legs, they don't really matter that much anymore. But there are, Stacy did a lot of it. Stacy did a lot of modified north bending off of his little Jimmy. God dang, I forgot what's in it. His West Coaster. I'm getting sidetracked because of that reason. Hopefully. Damn it, do I have to, Scott? What? What are you doing, Nelson? Anyways, I hope that explains it so you kind of understand what I'm saying. The wild bite is the actual true wild bite system was you had your shotgun carriage on, which I don't think we've ever ran one. I've showed you guys one. It's just a slab of metal with the 2 wheels that go up and down the Skyline, and it has 3 or 4 chokers on it. You hang it, you have your skid line to the front of the carriage, and you hang what's called a fall block on there, and it goes through the block and then back to the carriage. You got your butt rigging hanging off it with the haul back, and same thing, he's slacking the skid line and picking the haul back up just enough so that the haul back's kind of doing what's going on. Uh-oh. God dang it. You know, so that the line's not catching stumps or whatever, and it's coming back, and the rigging slinger's ready for you to break away. So he goes, toot toot, and the yarder engineer will step on the skid line brake. That stops the shotgun carriage, and he starts going ahead on the haul back, and it just starts peeling it right off. Wait a minute, you just said he had his foot on the brake. He does. He's holding just enough pressure to stop the shotgun carriage, but it's peeling it back. See what I'm saying? Peel it back, gets to where you want it, stop it, set your chokers. When it hits that fall block, boys, hang on, because the wild bite, and it's awesome. I truly hope someday we can see a true, honest north bend with a wild bite. And they have a south bend because it's, especially, most of the time when you're north bending, the reason you would do it is because you couldn't get lift here. Not necessarily because you couldn't get the line there, because you couldn't get lift. So you'd leave it where you had a lot of lift. Oh. And I mean, when you're logging big wood and it's coming up in the air and it's like, where's it coming from? Because it's not a drum car. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And then your 2 choker setters decided that standing uphill from you was a good idea. So you might throw an extra tight line in to see where that line would go, and you can hear it coming. They look up. They hit the ground. Goes right over top of their heads. Don't get up yet! Okay, good. No, down! It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys understand that. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Don't forget about Short Logger Lee. His daughter was going to do another live feed tonight and give us some updates on her. Thanks to everybody for the mounts and everything. Harold, Melissa, you still haven't given me your daughter's name. Eric, Patrick, everybody, all of you guys. Thank you so much for helping the channel. We're growing. We're at 2,225. There is no reason to stop now. Stay safe. Get logs, friends.